One of the reports that your school will have to complete for the data roundtable is this one here where it says English ANET data. So you have to list the grade level or subject. Then the next column is participation percentage. The next column is average percent correct. And the next two columns is two highest standards and then the two lowest standards. You're going to have to complete this for both English and there is one for math as well. So let me get to the math. Here's the math template that you have to complete. All right, so let me show you where to get the information to complete each of these columns. All right, to get the participation percentage, we're going to go to the ANET platform. So in the ANET platform, you're going to go to, let's say, dashboard, then you go to performance. And I am using Woodlawn High School's information here. So I'm going to performance. And when I go to performance, you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom where you see data export. When you click on data export, then it's still turning. You're going to get this information. It does not matter for this report whether you click on math or ELA. Does not matter. And it does not matter whether you just click on cycle 2. Remember, cycle 2 is interim 2. Does not matter because when you click on this blue bar right here where it says 2021 admin and scoring report, when you click on it, it's going to send you all cycles and it's going to send you ELA and math. But notice it is going to send you this data export in an email. So it says your data export request has been submitted, and it didn't erased or it went away, but it would have sent it to you in an email. Let me click on it again just to show you. It says your data export request has been submitted. My ANET will send an email to you with a secure link. All right, so you just go to email and you get this report. So when you get the report, this is what you get. Notice in the column E where it says cycle, there is, it states A1, A2, and A5. Remember, A1 is interim 1, A2 is interim 2, and A5 is diagnostic. So you're going to have to filter this out. So let me just go ahead and highlight the first row like this, and we'll go to filter, and then I'm going to go here to column E. I'm just going to choose A2. So when I click A2, then I'm left with this. All right, so notice at this school, there were 6 courses. When I click on the course name right here, it says here, English 1, and the next one is English 2, English 3, Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry. To complete that participation percentage, you're going to need column H. So column H is what you're going to need. Do not use that last column because that last 3 columns here have to do with teacher scored items. So for the data roundtable, the information that's needed will be from column H. Column H. So remember, the last 3 columns gives you information about teacher scored responses, whether it's math or ELA. And that information is used in PLCs. All right, so let's look at column H. So remember, we're looking at math here. So on the, let me go ahead and move this over and expand this. All right, so grade level or subject. So if you're elementary or middle, you'd probably say grade 3, grade 4, and so on. So this is high school. So I'm going to say Algebra 1. And the next one is Algebra 2. And then Geometry. All right, and then let me get the participation percentage. So remember, that is column H. So the last 3 right here. So 78, 78, 93. So I'm going to type in 78%. So 78%. And then 78%. And then the last one is 93%. So 93%. Okay, and then now let's talk about the average percent correct. All right, so you need to get the average percent correct for Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry. To do that, you are then going to go to Dashboard. So let's go back to Performance. And you're going to go to School Performance Over Time by Course. So when you click on Course, you're going to get this information. All right, so notice when I clicked on Course, it was already defaulted to Math, all courses, and notice the Math is at the bottom. Okay, so you have Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry. If you go to this drop-down menu and you click on ELA, whenever you change anything here, you got to do Update. So I click on Update, and notice I got information about English 1, English 2, English 3. All right, so I'm going to go back to Math, and since I changed it, I'm going to have to Update, and I get this. All right, so notice up here you have those little bar graphs, and you have information about network. I'm not going to worry about network here. We're not interested in network for this report, so we're going to disregard anything with network. But notice, see this where it says interim 1, 25%. So for all of the Algebra 1, Algebra 2 geometry students that took interim 1, the average percent correct is 25%. For interim 2, see it says 44%. That's bar, right? So that means that for all the students that took Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Geometry, Interim 2 assessment, the average percent correct is 44%. When you look at Interim 1 and Interim 2 all together, the average altogether is 36%. That's what this average right here indicates. Okay, now for this table here, we're interested in interim 2, so make sure you use the average percent correct for interim 2. So to complete that table, at least that part of the table, you see where it says interim 2 and you see where it says school. Make sure you look at school. So for Algebra 1, the average percent correct is 42%. For Algebra 2, the average percent correct on interim 2 is 55%. And Geometry, the average percent correct is 35%. So you're going to put 42, 55, 35. So 42%, 55%, and then 35%. Okay? All right, so that's how you complete that. Now you got to find information about the 2 highest standards and the 2 lowest standards. All right, so to do that, you're going to go to Performance again, and this time you're going to go School Performance Over Time by Standard. So let's click on Standard, and it's still turning. Okay, now, so we see a defaulted Algebra 1, and this is all courses, all teachers. So make sure it says all courses and all teachers. If you do ELA, same thing, all courses, all teachers. Don't forget to update though to get the English information, the ELA information. All right, so these will be the ELA standards. But let's look at math. So I'm going to go to math, and then I'm going to update, and then notice that the Algebra 1 is listed first. And again, I'm not going to worry anything about the network for this report. But notice Algebra 1 is listed first, and here are, so here's Algebra 1, here are Algebra 1 standards, right? Then Algebra 2 is listed next, and here are the Algebra 2 standards. And then Geometry is listed next, and here are the Geometry standards. Make sure when you're completing this report that you're looking at interim 2. So that's going to be this last column right here, or the last 2 columns, but remember, we're not interested in network. So let me move this up. All right, so here's interim 2. You're looking at this, looking at school right here. So notice you have 45%, 27%, 33%, and so on. And so that's the average percent correct in interim 2 for this standard right here. That says HSA CED.A.1, right? Okay, so you need the highest 2. So there aren't that many standards here, so it's very easy just to look to see which one's the highest. So the highest is this 52%. So it's very easy just to copy and paste. So I'm going to copy, and I'm going to go to the report, and then we're going to paste. All right, so I'm going to paste. And then make sure you also indicate the percentage. So that percentage is 52%. All right, so 52%. All right. Then we're going to go to the next one. So the next one looks like it's this one here. Again, make sure you're in room 2 and using school. So that's 50%, which is this standard. So I'm going to go ahead and copy. And then I'm going to paste. And so when I paste, and that was 50%, so make sure you enter the percentage. And I get that. Okay, and then let's do the 2 lowest standards. So the 2 lowest standards for Algebra 1, let's see, that would be 27% and 31%. So I'm going to do the 31% first. So I'm going to copy. And then I'm going to paste, just like this. So copy. And then that was 31%. And then the next one was the 27%, which is this one. So I'm going to copy. And then I'm going to paste right here. And then for the percentage, so that's 27%. Okay, and you do the same thing for Algebra 2 and Geometry. So remember, Algebra 2 is down here. So you look at those percentages, and then you do the same thing for Geometry. Now, what you also need to do is also indicate what the words, what each of those standards state. And it's very easy to do. So let me show you how to get the wording for these standards. So you're going to go to Data Meeting here. So you're going to click on either ELA or the Math. I'm going to go to Math, and watch how simple this is. So here are the standards with what the standards describe, what the standards are, right? So I'm going to go and find the one I want. So I want HSF IFA2. So I'm going to go ahead and find that one. So here is HSF IFA2. See where it says Show More? Make sure you click on this. Then you're going to copy and paste. So I'm going to copy and then go right here. And then right here, we're going to paste. And there it is. And then you do the next one. And that's how you do it. So let me just do one more. Let me do the next one. So the next one was HSASS. And that was this one right here. So let me show more, copy, and then I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to paste right here. And there it is. All right, very simple. And so you would do the same thing for the rest of this, for Algebra 2 Geometry, the 2 lowest standards. So you do the same thing that you did in Math, you're going to do for ELA. So when you get to the ELA template, which looks the same. Okay, so that is it. So that is how you are going to complete this template for the Math and ELA data for Interim 2. If you have any questions, just ask, call, or email.